U.S. State Department will spend $1.5 million to empower LGBTQ+ movements and communities across the world. The State Department's Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor announced the availability of $1.5 million in grant funding through the Global Equity Fund for LGBTQI+ communities to advance goals that include empowering local movements and addressing critical issues of justice. The department manages the GEF in partnership with other governments, businesses, and foundations dedicated to amplifying local LGBTQI+ voices and movements to catalyze positive change. Competition for the grants, the funding notice explains, is open for organizations submitting applications for projects that have the goal to provide lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex communities with the tools to empower local movements and communities, prevent, mitigate, and recover from violence, discrimination, stigma, and human rights abuses, promote full social inclusion, or address critical issues of justice. The GEF was formed under the Obama administration in 2011, and the Biden White House touted an increase in support for the fund in FY 2021 to $10 million annually. Last June, Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced that the GEF has disbursed $100 million since its inception. The GEF's Twitter account shows it recently co-founded an Out Proud For project, in which LGBTQI+ advocates convened for a hashtag Queer Without Borders themed forum in November. You know, when I hear stories such as this, it makes me wonder how any LGBTQI+ person in their right mind could possibly support any other political party by the Democrats. I mean, let alone be a log cabin syrup Republican. I mean, how can they be? Republicans would never do this kind of stuff.
It's because civil rights are not front and center. Money and power is front and center. That's why
to them. Yeah.
it's more important.
And a reminder, Trump tried to actually cut this program.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so I'm going to apply for a grant so I can get more lesbians out of the program.
Yeah. But you have to be in a foreign country.
Bye.
Be in the U.S. You can go to Colombia. You know, this is not a new idea. It's really interesting. I've read a lot about the GEF. This has been the policy of the United States for 75 years, really post-World War II. The reconstruction of Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan was on the idea that it cost less to change Germany and Japan than fight a world war. So therefore, we should put American money into it. It became a phrase that was coined in the Korean War of foreign aid. And foreign aid by American policy is designed to influence other countries and people to the end results that we want, because it's cheaper in the long run. That's the idea of foreign aid. And it was successful, largely through the 80s and then into the 90s. The collapse of communism and the collapse of strongmen in South America were all because we were investing our money to change attitudes by populations in the nations that we were focusing on. And it was largely successful. It's interesting that Obama takes that same philosophy and invests it in LGBT. That's what this program is designed to do. When they take a victory lap to say, you know, we've spent $100 million in the last decade, that is really admirable, because they're investing $100 million to change, instead of communism or a strong man at the top, their anti-LGBT beliefs and thinking in their country. That is an admirable goal. And this is just another step in that. Because imagine in that $1.5 million that they invest they invest 300,000 of that 1.5 million on a nonprofit in Kenya to try to help change homophobic attitudes in the country. And those kind of things work. Foreign aid for America has made America what America is since World War II.
That's true.
Congratulations to them. It's really a wonderful program. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.